Time now for your forecast first. WRBL News 3 First Alert Weather.
So a quick glimpse outside shows us still overcast skies occasionally, but cool fall weather, which officially starts tomorrow morning. But we're already getting a preview with 75 degrees. It doesn't get any better than that when you're 10 below average, right? But that's all going to come to an end because we're going to be tracking another change. That's with Beta in the First Alert forecast. So you get another bonus day coming up on your Tuesday with low 70s. We'll see some upper 60s here early. And then look at this. It's Beta. We will capture Beta's energy. And I say that energy. You'll see why in the 7-day forecast as things become a little turbulent in the extended outlook. You're watching WRBL News 3 on your side.
Straight ahead, a car stolen with a baby inside. We learn more about the incident from LaGrange police. Next, a GBI investigation results in a Columbus police officer being arrested and charged with using excessive force. Plus, guests at a local extended stay hotel allege management stole money from their accounts, and police are now investigating.
On your side, this is News 3 First Edition.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for trusting News 3. I'm Phil Scoggins. LaGrange police are investigating after someone stole a car with a baby inside from an apartment complex. The car was taken from in front of the baby's grandmother's house on Juniper Street and was recovered about 4 miles away on Boulevard Street. A mother told police someone jumped into her 2019 Mitsubishi Outlander and took off with her young daughter inside the car. A family friend says Shakara Johnson was picking up her son from her grandmother's house. It was supposed to be a quick exchange, but that all changed when she noticed her car was speeding away.
We had detectives that responded over to the area, of course, because the child was in the car, and officers checked the area for the vehicle. At about 11:44, which is around 30 minutes later, a little less than 30 minutes later, 911 received a call from a citizen at 200 block of Boulevard Street who said they had located an unattended child in an abandoned vehicle behind their house, which was
Officers confirmed the abandoned car belonged to Johnson. Johnson was reunited with her 1-year-old daughter, who was unharmed. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation has arrested a Columbus police officer following an allegation of excessive use of force. WRBL News 3 Shakira speaks, joining us live from the Public Safety Building with more details on this story. Shakira.
The GBI first opened this case on June 4th of this year. Now, it stems all the way back to October 2019 when the victim first made the complaint against the Columbus Police Department. Now, after 3 months of investigating, the GBI has now charged 35-year-old Officer Clay Watkins with battery and violation of the oath of office. Here's part of the body cam video from the incident that was posted by a community activist named Gadget Jackson. Watkins and a trainee stopped 43-year-old Donnell Russell for walking in the street, and during the interaction, Russell refused to open his hand. Body cam footage shows Watkins hitting Russell, pointing a taser at him, and throwing him on the ground. Now, he was later arrested, and Jackson says he posted the video to show what was going on in the city.
My initial reason for posting the video was basically, I felt it was a need for somebody to say something and stand up for something. I wish somebody would stand up for me on certain levels when it comes to police brutality and police injustice out here in the city and police abusing their power. So I really couldn't sit on it. I didn't feel like it was something that I could just see and not do something about, basically. So I went about it the best way that I could.
Jackson says he didn't believe that it happened and there were no public consequences. That was another reason for why he decided to post it. Now, Phil, we did sit down with Mayor Skip Henderson about the city's pending investigation against Officer Watkins. We'll hear more for what he had to say coming up on the Evening Edition. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Shakira. There was a chaotic scene this afternoon outside the Wood Spring Suites Hotel that's located along Victory Drive. More than a dozen people staying at the long-term stay facility were talking to police, alleging that money had been stolen from their bank and Cash App accounts. The Columbus police were called to the hotel after a person alleged money had been stolen. Residents said beginning last Friday, money was taken from their accounts. Some of them were claiming double charges. The Wood Springs Suites is owned by 1801 Victory LLC and managed by Wellborn Management, Inc. One resident claimed more than $2,200 was charged to a credit card. He said he'd been paying cash for the room since last month. News 3 also asked the hotel clerk what was happening.
They don't tell us anything. They don't. They let us talk to their workers and they run us off.
No comment.
Why?
No comment.
You won't tell me why?
No comment, sir.
WRBL will continue to follow this developing story. Wood Springs Suites next to the Dolly Madison Bakery rents rooms by the day, week, and month according to its sign. Don't miss out on breaking news and other top stories of the day. Just download our app and be sure you turn on the push alerts. The split among Columbus area Republicans over the U.S. Senate seat held by Kelly Loeffler became more pronounced in recent days. Loeffler is in a crowded race with more than 20 candidates, Republicans and Democrats alike. A prominent local Republican lawmaker threw his support behind Congressman Doug Collins this month. WRBL News 3's Chuck Williams has been covering this heated, competitive race. Chuck, who's backing who in this one?
Good question, Phil. State Representative Richard Smith had been on the sideline until recently. Smith, the chairman of the powerful House Rules Committee and a lieutenant to Speaker of the House David Ralston, is backing the challenger, Collins. Usually Republicans are on the same page when a Senate race is decided in November. Not this year in Georgia, and the split goes all the way to the state's highest offices. Governor Brian Kemp appointed Kelly Loeffler earlier this year to fill the seat vacated by the retirement of Johnny Isakson. Congressman Doug Collins wanted the job, and he's going after it, being backed by Speaker of the House David Ralston.
I've known Doug Collins since 2006. I think that's when he got elected to the Georgia House of Representatives. And over the next 4 or 5 years, had a chance to work with him prior to him running for Congress. He's a very bright young man.
Congressman Drew Ferguson is also on Team Collins, but two local General Assembly members, Senator Randy Robertson and Representative Vance Smith, are backing Loeffler. Though Vance Smith is an outlier, most of the Republican House members are with Collins, most of the Republican senators are with Loeffler.
She's doing a great job. She's shown that she's willing to push back against forces, and she's a strong female leader, and I'm excited to support her for those reasons.
Richard Smith is philosophical when talking about the GOP divide.
This is a democracy. You can vote for who you want to.
You know, Richard's right. You can vote for who you want to. This Senate race is almost certainly headed to a runoff. Democrat Raphael Warnock, the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, appears to be the leading Democrat in this race. Phil?
Thank you, Chuck. The general election, of course, November 3rd. Advanced voting will start October 12th. If there is to be a runoff, it will be held on January 5th. The countdown is on to Auburn University football's historic season opener. This Saturday, the Tigers will take on the Kentucky Wildcats at Jordan-Hare Stadium. WRBL News 3's Elizabeth White joining us now live with more from our East Alabama newsroom with some information clarifying Auburn University's rules for gathering on campus during game day. What about Elizabeth?
That's exactly right, Phil. So it's a little bit confusing, but we just heard back from AU Athletics, and I'm going to refer to my notes because I want to make sure I get this right. So while traditional tailgating items like tents, chairs, tables, and TVs aren't allowed on campus during game day, a family picnic, however, on Sanford Lawn, for instance, is not against the rules on game day or any other day of the week. So that does leave some options open for fans or families who do want to be on campus on Saturday when the Auburn Tigers play inside Jordan-Hare Stadium if they don't have a ticket. And also, we did speak with local tourism experts today who are hoping not only will the Tigers win, but businesses will win as well. A beautiful breezy fall day beckons visitors to downtown Auburn. Saturday's game day forecast promises more football weather.
Please come to town. Enjoy the atmosphere of game day. You know, it's going to look a little different. Everything is different in 2020. You might not be able to get in the gate of the stadium. You might not be able to tailgate. But being here, there's no substitute for that.
Fall football is make or break for many local business owners. During the COVID economy, stakes are historically high.
Our restaurants, our retailers, our hoteliers are struggling. Nothing like this has ever happened before. And we would just encourage people, if you feel safe, if you feel comfortable coming, please come, because our fear is that some of these businesses won't be here next time you come.
Bridget says safety is a top priority and believes the Auburn family will support guidelines championed by local businesses.
There are hotel rooms available. Everyone has incredibly safe protocols in place. They're doing beyond what's required and anything humanly possible to make sure that everything is safe.
And if you prefer to watch at home, businesses are more than happy to bring the taste of an Auburn tailgate to you.
Or buy you a family meal to go. All of our restaurants, there are so many people doing takeout and delivery and family meals and celebrating in a way that you can enjoy and support their business from your front yard or your deck or whatever you'd like to do.
All right, so let's talk about masks for just a second. If you do decide to have a family picnic on Sanford Lawn Saturday during game day, you do have to wear a mask. Remember, masks are required at all times on Auburn University's campus. Downtown businesses, you are required to wear a mask if you go inside. And outside, if the crowds do get kind of populated, you are urged to wear a mask as well if you cannot social distance. Phil, back to you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Hey, game week is here. Let's have it. Good job. Thank you, Elizabeth. Before heading to the break, again, we want to thank you for trusting WRBL News 3. Bob?
Yes, with game week coming up in the SEC, you're going to really want to stay tuned for the 7-day forecast. That's all I'll say right now. So when you look outside, it is feeling fall-like, as everybody has been proclaiming. Once you're out there with that east breeze, it's actually cooler air, 73 degrees out there now. But you're going to see some bigger changes coming. I'll show it to you right after this break.
News 3 is on your side with Phil Scoggins. And Chief Meteorologist Bob Jeswald has your first alert forecast.